All right, welcome back to another Arsenal Talk Show episode. Today we got a few questions. We got some pretty deep ones, and yeah, so be prepared. First question I have is: have I ever told a lie, and did I get away with it? So I've said a lot of lies in my life, but I haven't really done any like huge ones that really like impacted anything. A lot of the lies that I've told is either to help someone else out, or it was because it would make the other person's life who was like asking me the question, and the person who I was lying to, it would kind of like improve their life a little bit. I don't know how else to really explain that, but that's kind of um where I am with the lying. Now in terms of like specifics, one of the main lies that I most frequently do is just telling people that I'm just an editor. If they ask me like what I do, like in my off time or something like that, because I do have a job, so like that's my job. I tell them what I do at my job. Um, but other than that, if people ask me like outside of it, like what I do, like in my off time, or like why I'm always up in my room, it's always just because like I'm editing or like I'm an editor. That's what I tell people. I don't really ever tell people that I'm a content creator, because then it gets more complicated that way. Like editing is like, I'm not lying technically because I am an editor, but I just do more. I'm just doing a very simplified version of what I am, you know? Because I'm an all-around content creator, and to be fair, a lot of my time is editing because I am my own editor. Um, especially for these videos. But yeah, the reason why I do that is because it gets kind of awkward whenever I have to like explain people like what I do and like what I create content on. It's not really that I'm embarrassed about it, because there's really nothing to be embarrassed about with my content, besides being a 22-year-old playing Roblox. But that's a longer story that I'll have to explain in a other video if y'all want to know. Um, but yeah, it just saves time and makes it kind of less awkward, because then they're always like, oh, what's your username, let me go check you out, and they watch the video. I'm just like, okay, this is weird. And I also like to separate my online life from like my IRL life. I don't really like having those connect too much. There are some parts where you know it does, and I don't really care that much, but I'll just much rather have those two things separate, so I can live like my IRL life and then my online life. I have two different lives basically, which is what I already kind of do, because IRL, I'm a very quiet. I mean, I'm a very quiet person basically. Unless you know, unless you're someone who I know I can kind of like vibe with, then I'm kind of more of the typical person. Um, but yeah, online I'm a bit more loud, and so basically, what people tell me, the people that do know that I do this, like are my neighbors, my dad's friends. They're like, this version of you is not the same as the version of you that I hear, or that I see whenever I see you, and the version that I hear whenever you're upstairs doing your thing are two completely different people. And so yeah, that's where I was going with that. I'm basically already two different people, anyways. But yeah, that's basically one of the lies that I usually tell is that I'm just an editor, which doesn't really hurt anything at all. Another like lie, I guess, not it's not really common, but it's one that I've used, is that I know a little bit of Spanish. It sounds like I know like all the basics and I can have just like a conversation with someone through Spanish, but in reality, I really can't do that. Um, However, I've gotten quite a bit better at Spanish now, and I'm able to, you know, kind of converse a little bit through Spanish, and it's something that I really want to work on, and I'm really passionate about like learning another language, because you know languages are cool, and I want to be able to communicate with people a lot more, especially at my job. It's a lot of people, a lot of the customers that come in are like contractors and like people who speak Spanish, and so it'd be easier for them to be able to converse with someone who speaks Spanish. Um, and I want to be able to be that guy. And it also just kind of cool just to be able to know like two languages, you know, helps me out in my career, and also it's just like really cool to be able to speak in multiple languages. Um, so I'm learning a lot with Spanish, and it definitely helps being in an area where, being in an area of work such as the paint industry, which is where I work in, um, where there's a lot of Spanish speakers, and you can kind of learn a lot from them. So I'm getting better at it, and I'm trying to do my Duolingo every day, man. I get the emails, the Duolingo emails come in daily, and yeah, it's I'm trying. But yeah, that's kind of like one of the lies, even though it's not really a lie. It's more just like giving myself a little bit more of a, you know, boost than I really have, you know. I don't know how else to explain it. Anyways, that's it. That's all for that question, which is ironic because I just died when I was actually kind of doing kind of good. Oh, hey, look at this. Look at this weapon. I like this weapon. It's very cool. If I could actually aim with it, that'd be cool. Next question is, are there any green or red flags you get just from like looking at someone, or like, are there any like specific flags you see in someone just by looking at them? And I try not to judge someone based off of just how their appearances or like what they're presenting at the time. I try not to judge that, which if you're in my Twitch chat, you already kind of know that's a lie. But it's kind of ironic because that kind of goes with the previous question, but whatever. It's not really a lie because I literally try not to, but a lot of times it's more just like I'm judging someone because they just provide like a bad vibe. And I usually try and stick away from people that have like a bad vibe, and so far it's worked out pretty well for me. I don't like if I'm not gonna approach someone if they give me a bad vibe. I'm not gonna approach them in person. If they approach me, then yeah, I'll just treat them like a normal person. I'm not gonna be like, you stay away from me. I'll still be like, hey, whatever, you know, have a conversation with them, and maybe they turn out to be a cool person, you know, and then I won't really care. But I don't know, it's like a superpower, I guess. Just being able to like tell that someone has like a bad vibe to them, and I don't really want to be stuck with someone who's really weird or is extremely egotistical. I usually just don't stick around those sorts of people because it's kind of stupid. And me being more of like a humble-ish person. Now, when it comes to gaming, a little bit egotistical, you know. I do have that because, you know, whenever I'm not like, I want to say like I get overly angry at this game, like actually angry. Some of it is for kind of like, you know, to give a reaction. A lot of it is like an exaggeration of how I feel whenever I'm like screaming. Some of it is real, but some of it is also just like an exaggeration. Like I'll be mad, but I wouldn't be like mad to the point where I'm like raging as much as I show on like a stream or like on a video. But it's still relatively kind of like how I feel. But other than that, I'm more of like a generally humble person. Like I don't really give myself credit for anything. You know, if someone says congratulations for something, I usually just like kind of brush it off or something like that. I guess I just don't really know how to take compliments. I usually just try and like not let it get to me, and I don't know. I don't really take compliments really, and I usually won't give myself any credit, even though I kind of deserve credit for something. I won't really take credit for it. But yeah, that's how that works. But yeah, back to this. I guess to an extent, there are red and green flags I find from someone. Like if someone's wearing like a crystal or something, I'm gonna not really approach them. Unless they come talk to me, then that's different. If someone's doing that, then I'll usually kind of stay away because that's not really something I'm into, and more than likely they're into something that have no interest in at all. So there's that. Or if someone's just wearing some really weird clothes, it's like, okay, they're probably like an extrovert or something like that, where they're probably going to do something really weird if I go and talk to them. So I'm going to just stick to my own area. But I wouldn't really say I noticed any green flags with anyone. I don't really, I mean, there's probably some people who are like, oh, wow, those guys are pretty cool, or like, not pretty cool. That's such a middle school way of describing it. Like those guys seem pretty chill or whatever. I guess, but I don't really notice it as much because I usually stick to my own thing. Holy God. Oh my God, bro. What the hell is happening? Oh, okay. All right, well, yep, here's the golden gun again. Classic. Classic Juno! Choking on the golden gun. Oh my God, I hate my life. That was actually really good. for a little bit it was. I don't know how long that was, but that was probably one of my best performances ever. But yeah, I can't really do anything with green and red, with green flags or anything. I hope that answers your question. I know it didn't really answer much, but I usually only really notice like red flags to an extent. Next question is, are there any songs that are special to you? Yeah, there's one specifically that I can think of. And that one is It's My Life by Bon Jovi. That was a song that me and my brother listened to nonstop when we were younger. Which we listened to on repeat 24/7. I just realized I'm not wearing the astronaut skin. Is this why I'm actually playing good? Does the Duolingo with no brim like give you some sort of like rare ability or something? What am I don't know what's happening. Okay, well, well, screw me, I guess. I'll stop talking. Oh my god, I hate my life. Yeah, so It's My Life was a song that me and my brother used to play all the time when we were younger. I would be in his room and watch him play like a video game of some sort. I specifically remember there's a game where he used a joystick. It was like on his computer, but he used a joystick to control like a car or something. And I don't know what game it was, but I used to watch him play it all the time. And he used this little joystick to play it, and we'd always have like It's My Life on repeat. We'd have the music video, exactly, the music video of it playing all the time. And it was really, I don't know, it was really fun time, and gives me a lot of good memories, because just sitting in there watching him play a game, is not just one game either, it was a few games. I don't remember their exact like names, but they were cool. Can I get an assist or something? Like, can I please get off this weapon? Please? Thank you. Took long enough. God dang. But it also kind of makes me sad whenever I hear it, because it's kind of like I'm not really that close with my brother anymore. And I kind of miss those days where we would just kind of chill out like that at night, even though we were a lot younger. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think that's definitely a song that's really close to me and are specifically special. That's like the only song I can really think of that's like really had like a moment where it's like really special to me, you know? Other songs is like, oh, I really like this song, but nothing that's like been like an emotional level, I guess. And the last question here, what was my childhood favorite food? We're talking in terms of just like food, like straight up, like actual food, probably like spaghetti or something. I have a very basic palate, and I even then I didn't really eat a whole lot of foods. I guess it's kind of normal for like younger kids. But probably like spaghetti. I always had it a lot, and even to this day I still make it a lot. And to this day I still even have like an expansive palate. I still don't eat a whole lot of food. God, I love standard so much. The only other thing that I used to eat a whole lot when I was younger was what was called a strawberry cream, or not strawberry, a watermelon cream slush from Sonic. I used to have those every single day after like basketball practice, or every time we went out, we'd stop at Sonic and I'd get one of those. I just remember even like all my neighbors or like my dad's friends, whenever they would stop over or they were having to drive me somewhere, they always knew what I wanted. They'd always stop at Sonic and we'd stop and get a watermelon cream slush. So that's pretty cool. That was an interesting win. But yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to ask your questions, make sure to join the Discord and the link down below, and post them in the talk show channel. Or you can leave a comment down below as well, and I can do it there. But it's a lot easier for me, and you'll most likely get in a video, or have your question answered if you leave it in the Discord somewhere. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you guys again soon.